Welcome to the Elaborate Topics podcast, where we focus on lab-specific strategies for medical laboratory professionals. We're proud to be the healthcare detectives that work behind the scenes to get the results needed to influence medical decisions. Let's grow together and jump right into the lab.
Do you sometimes wish you knew what it takes to have the edge, to stand out in your career, to gain the recognition, satisfaction, and make the impact you want in a job? Well, in today's episode of Elaborate Topics podcast, we will show you how you can use this one thing to do just that. Welcome to Elaborate Topics podcast. I'm so excited about season 2 as we continue to serve medical lab professionals with giving you the tools and guests to help you to excel both inside and outside the lab. Elaborate Topics podcast is a weekly podcast where myself and my co-host, Tywana Wilson, Stephanie Whitehead, and other guests bring you topics to help you excel in your laboratory journey. And today I will be your host. And for those who don't know me, I am Lona Small. I'm a process improvement consultant. I'm a coach and trainer at Lab OPEX Training and Consulting, where I serve medical lab professionals who feel undervalued and unsure of their next level career path, to identify their unique skill set and to operate at their highest levels to make a difference in their careers, their lives, and in healthcare. Are you looking to stand out or grow in your career as a medical lab professional, but you're unsure of the steps to take? If you're nodding or listening more intently, I just want to let you know you're not alone. I just recently surveyed, and the question was the 3 biggest challenges facing medical lab professionals when it comes to identifying their next level career growth opportunities. And the response of the survey, the results were the top 3 was finding the next level career growth options, identifying the role that allows me to make the impact that I want, and knowing the role that's right for me. So, my Elaborate Topics guests, you're privy to the results of the survey, and those were the top 3. So many people are not sure of the role that's right for them and the role that will make the impact that they want, and also not aware of some next level growth options. After 15 years in the field, working in different types of facilities and different leadership roles, I was frustrated. I wanted to do more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to contribute more to the field and to mentor others as I grew. And as I did my research, I kept getting to this dead end. I knew I did not want to continue up the traditional route of supervisor, manager, director, but I felt stuck. And so I started looking at options outside of the lab. And that wasn't the first time that I looked at options outside of the lab. So I was in that position where I wasn't aware of all these other career options, and I was searching. And I kept being pulled back to the lab, to the work that I love in the lab. And at some point I said, maybe I should go and do my MBA. Everyone else is going that route, so maybe I should. But then I thought if I do an MBA, that would probably be leading me back to being an administrative director, and that's not what I wanted. And I was at that point that I just made a decision, and I enrolled in a healthcare MBA at George Washington University. And that exposed me to so many career options. Although it was a healthcare MBA, it had no focus on lab, but I was allowed the opportunity to see so many options that could be related to the lab field. And that is what allowed me to make many of the choices that I made in my career today. And through the years of exploring different careers, excelling in different careers in new medical lab opportunities, I stumbled on what I found to be a very important prerequisite that will help you to excel and to stand out in your next level career. And of course, this is a soft skill. So this soft skill is self-awareness. This is what my clients in my programs and mentees use to achieve great success. And in this episode, I'll let you know how you can use this important skill to stand out. Have you seen students who graduated top of their class, magna summa cum laude, and when they start working, they struggle on the bench? They're mediocre. Or someone who maybe graduated with who have a graduate degree or different certification, and they find it so difficult to break away from the job that they have done before they got that degree. And then there are others. There's this maybe person who struggled to even pass their boards, but they're so positive. They're just full of confidence, and they're being promoted. They're promoted up the ladder. And you ask yourself, how could this be? People tell you to get all the technical and academic training and experience to excel in your career. But I'm telling you to use these self-awareness steps to land and to stand out and win in your career. So today we're going to talk about the soft skill of self-awareness. And I'm going to talk about 5 specific self-awareness steps that you can master. You must master these in order to land and stand out and excel in your next level career. And so the first self-awareness step is to be aware of what you do best. What skills are you known to excel in? What your maybe co-workers or your boss or people who know you say you're really great at. Another thing about what things that you do best. What are the things that when you do it, it lights you up? When you do it, you feel as if you're in your zone. What are the skills that you had to develop to allow you to excel? And what are some of the things that you're curious about? And that is actually self-awareness when it comes to what you do best. That's so important. Knowing the skills you do best allow you to package the core role that you and you alone will do best at, and will allow you to stand out and land and win in your next level career. So think, be aware of what you do best. The Second self-awareness step that's so important is to be aware of what is important to you. What are the things that are important to you? What areas of your life do you prioritize? When you think maybe how is family important? When it comes to that next level job, it's so important to know ahead of time what's important to you: family, health, social activities. What are important to you ethically? When it comes to being in a job and you have to make an ethical decision, what are the things that are important to you? What about your religious values? What religious values do you hold close? What personal aspects do you protect? Like your physical or emotional or anything personal that's important to you. Having this awareness of what's important to you will really help you to make decisions easier. And it's easy to ensure that those potential or current jobs are aligned with those values. It helps you to know the job you want to apply for. It helps you to decide whether you want to stay in a job or you want to quit a job. Whether you want to stay in a job, and that also help you to stand out in your current job. Episode 2, which was last week's elaborate topic episode, Taiwana spoke about the importance of decision making. Good leaders make quick decisions, and good leaders are respected when they make quick decisions or they're sure about the decisions that they make. So being aware of what's important to you, which is really your core values, will help you to make better and faster decisions and help you to stand out. The third self-awareness step is to be aware of and have a clear vision of your goals. Be aware of that vision that you have for your goals. What type of job do you want? The type of social lifestyle that you want? The monetary lifestyle you want to lead? The impact that you want to have in your job? Have a very clear vision of that. And if you are self-aware, those are some of the things that you need to be aware of. And without this kind of self-awareness, you're groping in the dark. You don't have a clear vision of where you're going. So you're basically groping in the dark. You're going around in circles. You're accepting anything that comes your way. Any offer that comes your way, and whether or not it's something that is aligned with those values, something that will help you to reach those goals that you have to reach. So that keeps you around in circle and you're frustrated and there's no way you can perform at your highest level when you're just accepting anything. So with a clear vision, you know the career move you want to make and the actions that's needed in that job to stand out and make a difference. So that's another important step in self-awareness. Another one is to be aware of your personal attributes. Basically, being aware of self. Know your intellectual ability. Know your physical abilities, the physical appearance that you want to always have, your emotional strength, your resilience, the kind of health, your personal attributes like the health, the way you want to show up, the way you want to dress. It's so important to know this. give an example. If you're going to take on a job that's, you already know that you have prior health challenges, you may have certain disability, or you may have situation where you're in a either temperature environment, or you may have certain kind of fumes, or you have certain environments that based on your health you cannot deal with that. I know, like in phlebotomy, there are some people with asthma try to stay away from certain rooms with certain respiratory conditions or respiratory disease. Your emotional strength has a lot to do with how you can manage stress or how you can manage certain condition. There's a lot of reasons why many medical lab professionals choose not to do direct patient care. Your physical ability has a lot to do with how you can perform. There are certain jobs that you may need you to have certain physical strength, emotional strength, resilience. Being aware of that makes a big difference in how you show up and perform in your job. So that's basically your core self. Your core self is important in giving you that confidence in how you show up, how you stand out in your job, or it determines whether you operate in continuous stress and frustration. Because if you're in a situation where you know you cannot operate because your physical attribute, most times you'll be actually operating in frustration. The last one is to be aware of personal courage. How willing are you to go for the goals, even if they may seem unreachable? How willing are you to take that step in believing that you'll be able to figure it out? How willing are you to take the steps to develop yourself, to develop your competence, to develop that kind of competence that's needed in order to get the job done, or having the right people to support you? How willing are you to believe in yourself, even though others don't? So courage is basically saying, I am willing to take that step, even when it's uncomfortable. I'm willing to take the step, even when I may not have everything that's necessary. I'm willing to take the step while I'm learning, while I'm developing my competence. I'm willing to take the step while I'm looking for support to support me in my next role. So having courage is taking the step for your next level career, even when it's uncomfortable and everything is not in the right place. And it's so important to think about these self-awareness steps, because having just knowing what you do best is so important. Just being aware of what's important to you is such a prerequisite. Being aware of and having a clear vision of your goals is also a prerequisite. Being aware of your personal attributes is so important to know your core self. And being aware of your personal courage is very important in having that self-awareness, that soft skill that's going to make you stand out. And the most common mistake that I see with people having knowledge about subjects like these, understanding soft skills and knowing what to do, is that a lot of people have the knowledge, but they don't take the time to do the work for themselves. So some people may know that's important to be aware of their skill sets, or, be aware of, what they do best, or being aware of their personal attributes, but they have not sat down to do the work. And if you haven't sat down to actually do this work, you're going to find yourself fumbling when you're trying to either find that next level job, because you're not sure how you're going to stand out. Because having that knowledge of your unique skill set actually packages your core role. And when you know what your core role is, you can actually sell yourself. You can sell yourself when you're trying to get a job, and you can sell yourself when you're in a job. So it's so important to do this so you don't miss out on opportunities that will help you to stand out and give you the impact in your career. And so if you want to be part of a community of medical lab professionals who are working together to identify their next level career and stand out and make the impact, contact me, because we are just getting ready to start a cohort of aspirational medical lab professionals, and we're starting in a few days. So I'm going to place a link in the show notes so that you can either sign up through the link, or you can send me a direct message on LinkedIn under Lona Small. And it was really a pleasure sharing with you on this episode of Elaborate Topics podcast. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to such an important topic as we find all these challenges when it comes to next level career in our medical lab professional community. As I do surveys, I see challenges, and I try to put together solutions for some of these challenges. And so I'm so happy you could listen, and I hope you'll take action today. And so you can listen to this episode and other episodes of Elaborate Topics on directimpactbroadcasting.com or on any of your favorite podcast platform. And you can join the Elaborate Topics Facebook group or LinkedIn group. And you can also email us at elaboratetopics@directimpactbroadcasting.com with any questions, suggestions for topics you would love to listen to. And you can submit a request to be a guest on the show by logging into directimpactbroadcasting.com. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you when you sign up to be a part of our next level career community. Have a great one.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Elaborate Topics, where your hosts discussed relevant strategies for laboratory professionals. Please subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and listen to us on directimpactbroadcasting.com. Stay tuned for another episode with information you can use to excel in your laboratory career.